Over the past couple of weeks, I have been really hard at work redesigning my entire website, updating my online store, and designing new products. The new products that I'm offering are these blankets featuring one of my original oil paintings and made in partnership with the sponsor of this video, FiberArt. What I really want to do in this video is walk you guys through how to design your product, find manufacturers, and work with those companies to get stuff made. This process can be really intimidating. I was turned off from doing this for forever, but now that I've done it, I realize that it's not actually that scary. And yes, FiberArt did sponsor this video, but I hope that you guys know that I wouldn't have my art on them and I wouldn't be working with them if I didn't like their stuff. So let's get into it. Step one is designing your product. The absolute first thing that you have to do is to figure out what you want to make. If you need some help, I made a video a few months ago talking about like over 40, I think, different product ideas for artists and creative, so go watch that. Figuring out what products are well suited to your art is a very individual process because everyone's art is really different. The way that I find inspiration for this personally is honestly by like looking at my art, looking at the products around me, trying to figure out what would go where, like that kind of vibe, you know what I mean? You can also go on like shopping websites, anything that you think like fits your aesthetic, right? Like personally, I'm not going to have my art in stores like Hot Topic or Claire's, but I might want to have my art in stores like Urban Outfitters, Anthropologie, maybe like a luxury home goods kind of store. I personally have a lot of ambitions when it comes to my art and the products that I want to have it on, and I could see things like home decor, wine labels, fragrances, candles, stuff like that working really well for the kind of art that I make, but you might be totally different. But in order to achieve those ambitious dreams that I have to partner with manufacturers. I'm not going to be out there pouring the candles and making the fragrances and bottling them and like weaving the blankets myself, right? You need to partner with a company that has expertise in doing those things. It would take me forever, like the rest of my life, to become an expert in all of the things that I want to do. And if I did that, I would have no time to actually make the art for the thing. So partnering with a company, I think, is just a better way to spend your time and allocate your own resources. And there are a bunch of ways that you can do this, which brings us to part 2, finding manufacturers. I think a really good way to start out this process, this like hunt, if you will, is to figure out how you want your product to be manufactured. There are like kind of 3 main ways I would say that you can go about doing this, and they vary a lot in terms of upfront costs, customization options, and the effort on your end once the product is actually designed. And the first option is actually entirely custom manufacturing. This is where you find a company and the two of you work side by side to design this product to your exact specifications. This is a lot of work, a lot of effort, not gonna lie. It's gonna be complicated. They might do the distribution and fulfillment for you. This is where they make the thing and then also send it out to your customers, but they also might just make it and then send it to you, and then you have to package and ship it out to customers and stuff yourself. I believe art YouTuber Apple Cheeks does this, where she partners with companies to make things like plushies and stuff, and then they ship it to her, and then she packages and ships it herself. It's a lot of effort. This is not a thing to do lightly. Also, with custom manufacturing, you're probably going to have pretty high minimum order quantities, so you're going to want to be really, really sure that you will be able to sell product to make at least your money back when it comes to inventory, which again, you are paying yourself out of pocket. And that you have all of the stuff that you need to package it. Like, packaging can be really expensive. And that's the main downside to this. It's money. Stuff like this just costs a lot, especially if you are making like a really unique product. And that brings us to the second option, which is much more reasonable in my opinion, which is called white labeling. White labeling is where you find a company that like makes the blank version of whatever you want to sell, and then they wholesale that to you. So they sell you the blank version, and then you can put your own branding, your own packaging on it and ship it out to customers, and it looks like it was yours, unique to you, like totally custom. There are good manufacturers and there are bad manufacturers for white labeling, just like anything else. You want to find a company that makes high enough quality products that you feel okay with putting your name on it. You also probably want to make sure that they are ethical and sustainable, which means you're trying to find like kind of the unicorn of manufacturers, a company that is probably small to medium sized and is really open and transparent with you. Some manufacturers that do white labeling also offer like some really unique customizations. Like I found a candle manufacturer that does white labeling that offers like a custom scent thing, and that's cool. But when it comes to bigger customizations like this, that's a little bit more effort for them. It's going to cost more money. Again, like this stuff, it costs money. You want to make sure that you are able to move product. White labeling usually has decently high minimum order quantities, not as much as entirely custom manufacturing, but still up there. And you want to make sure that you have the capacity to purchase all of these items. It's going to be a large upfront cost. You want to make sure that you have a place to store them, that you are able to package and ship and all of that stuff. But the thing that you get in return for all of this effort when it comes to white labeling is a decent profit margin and the ability to customize a lot of the experience. If you really want your packaging to be super custom, super unique, you want to have like a very branded experience, white labeling might be good for you because you have all of that control. But that brings us to print on demand. So print on demand gets a bad rap, I think, in the community when it really shouldn't. I really like print on demand. Print on demand gets a bad rap because there are a ton of large print on demand manufacturers that sell really low quality products. Don't work with them. You're gonna have to dig deep in the search results to find a company that works well for you. Print on demand, in my opinion, is really great because it allows me to just spend more time making art and I don't have to package and ship orders myself. I don't have that big upfront cost. I can invest in products that are new and different without having to like actually invest in like a massive amount of inventory. So I'm not taking as much financial risk on myself, but you are making some compromises. Like there are cons to print on demand. Like you're not going to have a fully branded packaging experience usually, and your profit margins are going to be a little lower than something like white labeling. If you don't want to package orders, if you just want to spend more time making art, this is going to be a great option for you. Personally, I don't love the idea of having to spend so much of my work week just packaging stuff. That's not where I feel like that's not what I feel excited by. The best, and in my opinion, the only way to make print on demand really work is to hunt down a small to medium sized manufacturer that offers a limited, like niche amount of products, because you want to find someone that like does just a small number of things but does them very well, right? You want to find a company that has a lot of expertise in a very niche market that will deliver a very high quality product for you. And what's also really important is like the vibe of the manufacturer. This sounds really weird, but like I can usually tell if someone's going to be cool to work with or like a real drag. And what's also really important is the customer service. And the ethics and the sustainability. You want to partner with a company that aligns with your values, right? That pays their workers a fair wage, that doesn't have like a ton of industrial waste. And that's hard to find in big companies, which is why I think smaller to medium-sized companies, those manufacturers, are a lot better to work with. If I was offering something like prints, I would be looking at the print space in the UK that fits this criteria for me. Also, Finer Works in the US, Giclee Today in the US, Pigeonhole Press, I think that's their name, in Oakland, like right here in the Bay Area where I live. They're also a small kind of mom and pop local manufacturer, and I think those are the companies that I want to support. You know what I mean? Like the small mom and pop local places that give back to their local economies. That's what I feel really good about. And for the products that I have been developing, the blankets, like I said earlier, I have been partnering with FiberArt. FiberArt is a really incredible company. They are based right here in the US. All of their blankets and their stuff is made with really high quality jacquard looms. They pay their workers a fair wage. They are skilled craftspeople, and their factory is actually transitioning to be fully like renewable power, which is awesome. It's so cool. They're doing, I think, solar. They assign every single artist they work with an artist liaison, like a real human person, to guide you through the entire process, which is great. Like, that is exemplary customer service that I have not found elsewhere. And because FiberArt specializes in a very narrow subset of things, like jacquard loom knit stuff, That means that they're going to be higher quality, but also like it kind of gets your brain thinking on the different options out there. I'm using it for blankets, so I'm producing blankets with FiberArt. You could also do tapestries, upholstery fabric, and then you could turn that fabric into apparel, like hoodies or sweatpants or like a drapey t-shirt. It could be really cool options out there. And that brings us to part 3, actually working with these manufacturers. So the reason that I didn't dive too deep into the design process in the first part of this video was because every manufacturer does things a little bit differently. In my case, working with FiberArt was a very straightforward process. They give each artist they work with an artist liaison, like a real person that you can talk to. And so I sent them a file of my artwork and they took care of all of it, basically, like sending me samples, getting stuff set up on the back end, all of that they took care of, which was really convenient. Like, I went into this process having no idea how any of this was going to work, and it was honestly like really nice and relaxing to have someone kind of holding my hand throughout this. I know that sounds like wimpy or whatever, but it's like, man, it's just nice. It's just nice to like know that you can have someone to ask all of your silly questions to, because I had a lot of silly questions. FiberArt's print-on-demand kind of ordering system is called Order Desk, and so once I approved samples they sent to me, we set things up in Order Desk, and then basically like the way that it works is that you link Order Desk and your website platform together via the product listing. So like it's talking to each other. Does that make sense? So I use Squarespace for my website, and I think we integrated Squarespace with Order Desk in like 2 clicks of a button. It was really easy. It was very fast, and then we got the products linked together, and then it just works. Just like print on demand, as orders come in through my website, FiberArt will automatically fulfill them and send them out to my customers for me, which is so convenient. You don't have to enter in things manually, though you can if you want to. Like maybe you wanted to buy a bunch of stock for like an art fair or an event, you can do that through their system. FiberArt actually calls their print-on-demand service Weave on Demand because their products are, you know, woven. Like the design isn't printed onto it, it's actually woven, so it's a part of the thing, which is really cool. I think that's like a fun little title. But yeah, so once I got my sample and things were set up in the back end, I just dragged my boyfriend out to model the blanket for me and like hold it up, and we did a little photo shoot, we took some videos, all of that jazz, and then I had my product photo ready and I made the listing in Squarespace, and then we were good to go. It was really very straightforward. By the time that this video is live, you'll actually be able to buy this blanket at kelseyrodriguez.com, so go and check that out if you want to. And FiberArt was great to work with. I would wholeheartedly recommend them. I know that I've been talking about them kind of nonstop in this video, but I just really believe in their company and the products they offer. I've worked with a lot of manufacturers over the years doing a bunch of different things, and I've never had such an amazing customer experience before. Like on the back end, getting everything set up, it was a breeze. It was great. I want to do so many things with this company now. I want to make hoodies, I want to make sweatpants, I want to like do all this cool stuff. So yeah, that was me. Let me know if you guys have any recommendations for manufacturers down in the comments. I am always on the hunt for new manufacturers, and I'm really hoping to eventually make a very comprehensive list of ethical and sustainable manufacturers on our Discord server at some point, so join that if you want. And yeah, there will be a bunch of videos on the screen for you to check out if you want to, and that is it for me. I've recorded all of this video in basically one take, so be impressed. But yeah, all right, that's me. I'll see you guys later.